feels great to have club football return after the international break. Although, hear me, the international break this time was actually very exciting. It was good to see the Super Eagles return to Lagos for the first time competitively in 20 years. The game against Lesotho was beautiful to watch. And also we saw a sneak peek into what we'll be getting come the Euro 2020 from the slew of games that we had across Europe. Welcome to the show, the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and it's great to have you guys join us on the show today. I hope you're all keeping safe, social distancing, using your face mask, and also if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you should absolutely do that. If you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, make sure you give us the like and you follow this page. Now, it seems as if the football gods have blessed us this week with a whole lot of great games after, enjoying the games from the international break. Now, club football returns again this weekend, so the gods have smiled on us. We have great games lined up this weekend. We have RB Leipzig against Bayern Munich. We have Arsenal against Liverpool, Leicester against Manchester City. There's also PSG against Lille Metropole. And one for the Stars, that's the game between Eintracht Frankfurt and Dortmund. We're going to be previewing those games today, but unfortunately it's going to be me alone on the show, sharing my insight and expertise with you. And now, just as we get into that preview, one of the things that, club managers actually hate for the life of them when it comes to the international break, and one of the biggest criticism of the international break has been injuries. Now, Bayern Munich are going to be without Robert Lewandowski for I think about 2 weeks, and it's going to be missing that huge game against RB Leipzig. And it brings to question what Hansi Flick is going to be doing to replace the 35-goal striker. He's gotten 35 goals this season. It's going to be a tough ask to ask, Hansi Flick to actually perform magic and in some way make sure that Bayern Munich don't look as if they miss someone so immense, arguably the best footballer in the world right now. So I think this is where he has to earn his money, he has to earn his pay, because really, it's really tough, replacing Robert Lewandowski in that side. But they have a couple of great options. Muller can play as a centre forward. He's played there sometime in his career as Jamal Musiala if he wants to prop for that. And also there's Serge Gnabry, who he could probably play in the false nine in that particular one. But what set things up even much more interestingly is they're going to be playing a really tricky side that, for the life of me, I think they're the best side that can expose, the flaws of this Bayern Munich side. The manager of RB Leipzig, Julian Nagelsmann, is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And they're currently second, RB Leipzig, I think just 4 points behind, Bayern Munich on the Bundesliga. So they've been really good this season. And if there's any side that is plucky enough for them to get under the skin of Bayern Munich, I think it has to be this side, RB Leipzig. And it's also very interesting to see, some form of preview, you'd want to say, for Bayern Munich, the defender that they're going to be getting from RB Leipzig, that's Dayo Upamecano. Although it's not going to be severely tested because there's no Robert Lewandowski that is going to be playing in the attack of Bayern Munich. But still, I think it also forms it would be a wonderful platform to see how much of quality it really brings forth to the table when it comes to playing against top quality side, that's against Bayern Munich. So moving over to the next game that we're going to be previewing today, that's the game between Leicester City and Manchester City. Interesting tie. I absolutely am looking forward to this tie because the flip, that's the reverse fixture. It ended 5-2 in favor of Leicester City. I do not see that happening again. I do not think it's going to be happening again because Manchester City have been in imperious form lately. And I think I would want to find out if this side have been affected by that break, the international break. They had great form. I think the only side they lost to was Manchester United, and that was what broke that wonderful form and stretch of form that they were on. But even after that loss, they had picked up, and it feels as if this side is practically unbeatable. So it would be good to see them against this Leicester City side. And talking about this Leicester City side, they are also a side in form, especially you're talking about Kelechi Iheanacho, yes, the Nigerian who has been in imperious form in front of goal for Leicester City. It would be good to see how it fares against this former side because it was actually moved from Manchester City to Leicester City to see if he can prove and continue that rich scoring form against Manchester City. And also talking about Manchester City before we move on, the main thing that has been in the news concerning them has been Sergio Aguero is going to be leaving this side, departing this side that he's been at for the past 10 years. Definitely is a legend. He's a legend not just for Manchester City. He is a Premier League legend because he is the foreign player that has the most goals in the Premier League. He's gotten 181 goals in the Premier League for Manchester City. Absolutely incredible player. When he came into the side from Atletico Madrid, you would think, is this just another splurge by Manchester City that wasn't going to work? But 10 years down the line, it is indubitable that, he is a legend for both Manchester City and even when it comes to the Premier League. So I just look, how is he going to be replaced? Who's going to be coming in after he leaves? I think Manchester City are keen on getting Erling Braut Haaland into their side, and we just look forward to how this is going to play out, come the summertime and the transfer window. Now, moving on to the next game, that's Arsenal against Liverpool. For the life of me, this almost represents a game of just finding out who is worse of two bad sides, to be honest, because both sides are terribly inconsistent. I think Liverpool themselves, they're just sort of picking up, you'd want to say. Arsenal has actually not won 2 successive games in the Premier League since January. So it tells you how bad they are when it comes to, consistency with this side, this Arteta side. And I think Liverpool, for them, this might be what the doctor just ordered when it comes to Klopp and the sort of diabolical form that Liverpool have been on, Diogo Jota is back. He's back among the goals. He scored a goal before the international break. And the international break, he got 3 goals for Portugal. That sort of injection of quality, injection of pace, injection of goal scoring, intellect and touch, I think is quite needed for this Liverpool side. And, they break away from the Anfield, they break away from their coaching staff, and they break away to their different countries. I think it might help refresh things for this Liverpool side. I'm looking forward to them, really rebuilding things, getting to that probably 4th position. I think they're currently, that should be 4 or 5 points away from 4th currently. And I think that really going to be making this one ahead of Arsenal. Arsenal, for the life of me, just can't sort of sort their way out so right now, because you're looking at this side that could do as well as defeat a top side in the Premier League, and in the next game they're struggling against a middle side. So I think for me it's a game of who is worse between 2 bad sides, and if I'm going to be picking at all, I think Arsenal is worse of the 2 bad sides. So that's all we can take on the show today, unfortunately. Make sure you are enjoying even more football over the break, over the Easter break. It's really, really great to have these breaks come around. Yes, thank you so much for sticking with us. My name is Solomon Fowowe, and this has been The Nutmeg.